Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Mary.
Oh, let's wait a minute or so and see if anybody else jumps on.
Okay.
How was your day?
It was busy but good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost my technician, so
Oh,
all by myself again for a little bit.
okay. Okay. Will you
So,
get another one or is it
hopefully she was a student, so she
right?
got a full-time permanent job
Okay.
in the same hallway with us as a contractor. So I have a
Oh,
federal
okay.
position hopefully coming out soon. So
Okay.
hopefully she'll reapply back to that, and then it'll just take probably 4 months to get her back with us.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
that's the goal. So instead of hiring another student and having to let them go when we hire a new federal employee, we're trying to be, considerate of something like that. And I'm just back to doing double duty, which isn't that big of a deal. It gets me out of my office and then the lab more. So
oh, okay.
breaks up
Okay.
my day.
Change of pace.
Yep.
How are you, Holly?
Dandy.
Andy?
In a good way, dandy.
Good. Good. Um, okay. I really don't know where my step up cards are. I have like a gazillion things going on here. So I will have to post them later. But I did see yours, and Kathy Jordan did a set of 3 as well. But I just think it's a good, and I want to go back to your comment, Holly, about doing that, that it's hard for you to make simple cards. And I think that's part of the reason why it's good to show
Yeah.
a series of 1 or 2 um, or 3 stepped up cards, because number one, it gets us going back to the basics, just like simple stamping, stamps, ink, and paper. Sometimes I struggle with that because I forget, like we take a lot for granted, um, that it's easy to forget that other people may be starting at the beginning or have never done it before or haven't done it in quite some time, all kinds of reasons. And then some people get kind of stuck on the simple and they don't really know the next step. So this helps us help them to go the next step. And a
Hmm.
lot of times it's just making simple changes. It's not always about um, adding product. Um, so yeah, I really don't know where those are at this point. Um,
Did you do some, Tracy?
I did not. I kind of forgot.
oh,
I've been,
I was prepping for class this weekend.
oh, gotcha.
And then parties and stuff. And then as I was getting on, I saw Holly's pictures. I'm like, oops,
Yeah.
like I forgot to do it.
Well, you could still do it in post for us.
So yeah, I get something together. My problem is I usually have trouble stepping up.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
my
what?
cards are fairly simple. I mean, my biggest thing I use is the embossing folder, which is stepping it up. But
Yeah.
I don't use as many framelits anymore because my customers, they don't all like, I shouldn't say they don't like them. There are arthritic hands and things like that. It's getting too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely, when I look to purchase, because I think it was like the Orchid stamp set and framelits from years ago was so pretty, but like
Oh, it
you
had a
like,
gazillion dyes
yes.
and
So
what do you
if
mean
it
smoothes.
by
has a
framelits?
She means dyes.
dyes, they
Oh,
used to
oh,
be called
okay.
framelits back then, sorry.
Oh, okay.
So the dyes, if there are too many dyes, I won't buy it anymore because if they have to cut out like 5 to 6 pieces of a flower, I know they're not gonna like it. And sometimes those flowers don't look pretty
Mm-hmm.
stamped. You kind of need to cut them out sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I tend not to use as many dyes as much,
Yeah.
I
But
find.
you
I
do
try
step
to,
up
but
cards. You do use the embossing folders a lot. That's an
yeah,
easy
that's my
step
thing.
up. Adding any kind of embellishment or ribbon is an easy step up. And of course, dies, punches too, could be considered a step up.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of that as well. So, um, first of all, before we get into talking about the quick and easy options in the catalog, hey, Beth.
Hi,
Hey there.
I finally figured out how to get in.
Oh, good, good.
Hey.
Um, does anybody have any specific questions before we get into talking about the quick and easy options in the catalog and how we can use those?
I got an invitation from Stampin' Up to join an accountability thing to take you from silver to silver elite. What can you tell me about it?
Well, I have not done an accountability group in a long, long time. And I think from what I hear, they're better than ever. This is designed for people like you. Maybe you have the sales or you have the one recruit, but you need to get 5 on your team, helping you get to the next level. Are you okay, or is it just
It's
how it
cat
is?
fluff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm like, no, I'm crying.
Okay. But
Massive
people
cat
were
fluff.
crying, but I thought I'd just stop and ask.
Yeah.
Um,
Ugh.
But and Stampin' Up even considers Silver Elite the sweet spot because you get that many more benefits. And yeah, so it's a bit kind of a big deal when people promote to Silver Elite. I would encourage you to do it. I think there are several reasons why. They have built up this training specifically for people like you. And so I think it's going to be very focused. I also think it's good to hear from other people and train with other people when you have that opportunity, because they can present it in a different way, or they can present more than me. I talk in pretty general terms, and I think this accountability group is going to zero right in on you silvers and trying to get you to the next step. And what are some specific ways that they can help you and you can help yourself. I will say that Rita Holmes has done some accountability groups, and she has one that she did, I don't even know how long ago. But the group got along so well and were so helpful to one another that they continue to meet every week. And I think that says a lot. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes it comes down to who's in your group. And I would say, as far as like an accountability group or an accountability partner, you don't necessarily want the person where you're like, oh, I just didn't feel like doing that this week. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. Oh, that's fine. No, they're going to help you set goals and action steps. And you really need somebody who's going to follow up with you saying, well, did you do this?
Yeah.
And I think you'll get a lot of that there. So I would encourage you to try it. Did they say how much time is involved? Usually they don't go crazy.
Yeah, it's basically
Everybody's
1
busy.
hour, 1.5 hours a week is all
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
You meet up on either Monday or Wednesday, and they have 2 different times. Mine would definitely have to be the Monday one, so it won't interfere with any of our stuff, which is nice.
Okay, good. And how many weeks does it last then? Is it 10?
It starts sometime in June, and then it goes all the way through October, it said.
Oh, okay. June, July.
I'm in one now
Yeah.
that's been going for, this will be the 3rd week this week. And I found it helpful. There are a lot of demonstrators in there that are brand new, close to my heart, people that are shifting over. So that's been really interesting. It's like 20 minutes of a presenter on a topic, and then 20 to 30 minutes of a breakout group. And you're going to be mixed in with different people each breakout group, which is nice. You meet different people. Then you come back together and there's a question and answer session. And then in addition to that, they have optional things. There's optional office hours that are, they'll tell you when they're going to have those. And those are kind of a bring your questions, specific topics, whatever. And then you also can have an accountability partner, like Mary said, and it's been nice for me because I've done this for about what, 6, 7 years now, Mary? I think longer than 6 actually, and I just been a hobby demonstrator, but I want to bump it up beyond that. I want to at least have someone else pay for my minimums. So, um, so that's been my goal, is to use this accountability group to set my goals and then try to stick with them. So, I have found it helpful. Like I said, I'm early in it and it goes until June, and then they'll start that next one. I think the one that you're going to go to. So, and you can go to multiple ones. You can, if after June one's over, you can join again. And, you
And
know,
what is the focus or theme of your accountability group? I don't remember anymore.
well, it's just been, it's kind of helping you get to that next level, the same
Okay.
sort of thing. But, this is just trying to better your best,
Okay.
you
Yeah.
know?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but you might have been invited to a specific one where, you know, it's people getting to that,
Yeah.
you know, silver elite sweet spot. So I'm way far away from that, but
It
you'll-
happens kind of faster than you might think. I didn't have any, all you have to do is almost, I got one person signed up and then it was just like, oh, okay, now I'm silver. How did that happen?
wow,
Yeah.
good for
So-
you.
So the silver is a little easier to achieve. Of course, every level you have like your, what do you call it? The 12-month rolling sales increases. And I think it's Silver Elite, when you get your 5, thereafter it can be pretty tough because, if you have business builders who are go-getters and they want that, then it makes it easier for you to go through the titles. But I think having a goal of, if you're a bronze elite, having a goal of silver, make sure your sales are where they need to be, and get that one recruit and see if you can kind of nurture them to stay on, even if they're hobbyists. You look at our team, the majority are hobbyists. And I can't believe the number of years some of these people have been on. And and some of these people have said to me numerous times, "Oh, this is going to be it for me. This is going to be it for me."
Me
And they
included.
just keep and they just keep plugging along. But I think, Beth, for people like you, it gets old being your own best customer. And
Yeah.
trust me, I was there for a long time. And it does get old being your own best customer. And sometimes it comes down to just finding a few people. So I'm sure, like in your accountability group, they talk about how to get new customers and how to reach out to people and make connections and all that, so that you can get there. And I think, if anybody would have specific questions, I think you did a good job, Beth, with your description of the group you're in. But I think Rita Holmes would be open to you asking her questions about
Rita's great.
her group. I feel like she did more than one accountability group, but I know there was one in particular where the 4 women decided they would continue to meet weekly. So
That's neat.
anything else? Okay, as you know, we had planned to talk about using, the catalog is broken down into 3 portions now. And the first is the step-by-step, which is simply kits. They tell us exactly what to do. They give us exactly what we need. Bam. And the only real difference between the kits and the Paper Pumpkin, online kits and Paper Pumpkin, is that the kits, you know exactly what you're getting and exactly what you're making. Although Paper Pumpkin now you can pretty much figure it out. It's not the big unknown that it used to be. And then the quick and easy options would be the second. And this is more like people want to have a little flexibility or a little freedom to do some creating on their own, but they don't want to do all of it. Or they don't want to have all the stamps and all the colors and whatnot. So they're looking not so much for kids, but things that they can use to put together their own cards. They truly will be their own, but they're just going to play and mix and match pieces. So first of all, let's talk about who you would kind of direct to the way of quick and easy. Who or why? Because they kind of go hand in hand.
I know one person who I would recommend the quick and easy ones to would be like someone like my friend who has the multiple sclerosis and she doesn't have the use of both of her hands, just one of them. So I think the things like the ephemera kits or the ephemera packs and some of the pre-made things could be really helpful for her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody
that's one
new.
group.
Yeah, definitely
Mhm.
somebody new to the craft.
Somebody who like doesn't have a lot of self-confidence or doesn't believe that they are creative at all.
Yeah. And how many people do you know that have told you, oh, I'm not creative? I don't believe that. Everybody is creative in some way. We might not all be stampers and paper crafters, but somebody might cook. Somebody might be good at woodworking. Somebody loves to make desserts or cookies. You know, there's so many different ways of being creative. Even putting together outfits. Like to me, that's huge. Like, no, I might as well wear Granimals or something because I can't like pull like random pieces and put together an outfit. But yet my sister's really good at that. Joan recently did she saw it on, I don't know where, Etsy or something, but it's like a wine bottle and then you put the florist foam around it, like a ring of florist foam, and then you put in flowers and you make this bouquet and then you close it up with cello wrap and a bow and everything. Oh my gosh. And I said to her, see, now you can never tell me anymore that you're not creative. That is your way. I mean, they were like gorgeous. People would spend $150 on them easily.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this could be your business. But then I was like, can I have one for my birthday too? But really, I mean, and that's it. And she's somebody that can like pull together ingredients from the pantry and fridge and make a nice dinner. And I'm like, I can't do that. So, you know, I do think that a lot of times we encounter people who say, well, I can't do what you do. I'm not creative. But this is an easy way to show them that with these kinds of products, anybody can make great cards.
Mhm.
I also think people on a limited budget, which I feel like we're all on a limited budget more and more and more just because of the economy. But people can create nice things without having to have all of the stuff. Now, obviously, we want people to buy the stuff. We need those people who want all the stuff. But not everybody's going to be that way. But you know, there are plenty of people that are interested and don't have a lot of money to spend on their hobby. But if we give them simple things, inexpensive things to work with, then they may be with us for the long haul. And ultimately, we want customers who are here for the long haul, the ones that will refer us. And, you know, even people on those low budgets not buying a whole lot, they still are important to our business. So,
I say someone else is someone like Susie, a traveler,
oh, yes.
because it's easy to take with them, or even someone who has to downsize, or people who want to downsize from, you know, those big homes to a smaller home, so they may not have
Mm-hmm.
the same size craft space, so they may need to get rid of some things, but still want to craft.
Yeah, that's
But a
good point.
traveler, especially people, yeah,
I think
Susie, or even people who, you know, stay in one house, but they buy that RV and travel 9 months out of the
Yes,
year.
yes, and there are
Mhm.
plenty of people who are packing their crafts and stuff to go with them, and it's amazing what they'll take a little box of something, and that will keep them going for weeks creating. So yes,
Unlike
this would
me,
be
That's a good idea.
who
yeah,
couldn't do that.
yeah, that's something I didn't think of, but that's awesome. And of course, people always downsizing, um, especially those of us that have, you know, crafters in their very senior years. I hear that all the time. And I want to tell you this, and this is something I did not think of until I had this conversation. There's a customer, well, she hasn't bought anything for several years, I'll say. But she used to come to a lot of my classes, my in-person classes when I lived in Cincinnati. Um, and she was an avid card maker. She taught a lot, she did a lot on her own, and she came and enjoyed the classes. And then she just kind of dropped off. She kept in touch a little bit, and she had health issues. Um, but I didn't really ever hear from her, but very, very rarely. And now it had been a few years, probably 2 years for sure. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, she was calling me, and we had a hard time connecting. I think it took us over a week to call, because she would usually be trying to connect with me at night, 9:30 or something, and I'm not doing business at 9:30.
Right.
And then I would call in the morning, and well, I found out mornings are not good for her. But when we finally connected, to be honest, she was a hot mess. She has um, physical health issues, mental health issues, just a hot mess. Half the time she was crying.
Boy.
And, it was kind of neat that she opened up to me and felt comfortable enough to tell me everything that was going on. But she's like, I've got to do something. I can't make heads or tails of all this stuff I have here. And I don't want to have to think that hard. I just want to do something. I need some enjoyment. And she asked about my One Sheet Wonder classes, and did I cut everything for everybody? And I said, Terry, I'm sorry. I can't do that. And which was hard for me because she's been a friend, and, um, was one of my original customers, had been around for a long time. And sweet, sweet lady. I would love to do it for her, but I can't. I just can't. And so we talked for a while about how I actually do my classes to go now. And then I told her about the catalog, and I said, it sounds to me like you're looking for something even more tailored than what my classes to go are. You want everything prepped for you. And she said, yes, that's exactly what I want. So I mentioned the online kits, and then I said, now, Terry, there's some great kits, but I know you like to create. And she would bring friends to classes. And I said, here's another part of the catalog you can go to. And that's where you get to mix and match products. So really, you're just getting a limited amount of supplies, and you just create whatever comes to your mind. It's just like, oh, that sounds perfect. So I sent her a catalog, and emailed her links so she could look online until she gets the catalog. But it never occurred to me that sometimes somebody who has the experience and has the stuff would want to step backwards. And that's a perfect example of that. And I was like, after I hung up with her, I thought, a year ago, I wouldn't have had as many options for her. I could direct her to the kits, but once she does all the kits, is she going to keep going, or is she going to get bored with those? Or
Right.
is it, does it not allow her, what do I want to say, like her creative spirit to come out? But I really had never thought of anybody in that situation. And like I said, last year it would be kits. We can get you some kits. We had limited number, but that was it. So I felt good. I mean, it was a kind of an eye opener because I thought, okay, now this is all coming together, this whole new catalog approach. And now I see it in action working with Terry. Actually, Tracy, you might remember her, Terry Jones. She came to Oldenburg and we had the fundraiser for diabetes. And she was one of those people.
If I probably saw her,
And
the
she
name doesn't sound familiar, but I'm sure
Yeah,
if I
you would
saw
have
her,
seen
I'd
some
recognize
pictures.
her.
Seen her at classes and stuff too. But anyways, okay, so because I was very curious and I have all the different things. Well, let's talk about these first. So one thing that's different with the Memories and More, they used to give us the pre-printed cards and envelopes. I actually like, and they were beautiful. They were beautiful, but I also felt like it was a lot of times wasted, or I wasted them, because then you cover up pretty card bases with pretty cards and there's not much left to show. But so I think kind of what do I want to say, like narrowing that product line of Memories and More and just going to the plain white has been really helpful. Now the one thing is though, we can't mail 3x4 cards or whatever it would be, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. We can't mail those. So that would be something, to talk to people about. How could we use those types of cards? I'm always one for, well, I'll show you this because I was going to show it to you later anyways. But you can take one of those, small pre-cut cards, fancy it up with one of the 3x4 Memories and More cards. And so you have a card, but you could just put it on
That's a great idea.
5.5 by 4 1/4. Now you wouldn't use those envelopes, but you can give people other ideas as far as using small cards, drop on a coworker's desk, or to go with a present or a bouquet of flowers, or
Would a
whatever.
gift card fit in then?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I like the idea that they went to just the plain white only, because I feel like it gives us more flexibility. And a lot of people are like, oh, I can't cover up that pretty card base or whatever. And then they want to start cutting and doing all these things and that takes us away from the whole purpose of doing the quick and easy, using the Memories and More, sort of like Paper Pumpkin. And it goes all the way across the spectrum. I get the Paper Pumpkin when I decide to sit down and do some. I'm usually doing the kits as is, as they were designed to be used. I very rarely go off track. Sometimes I'll look at the things and think, oh, this would make a great scrapbook page. I might do that. But I typically am using those Paper Pumpkin kits as they're designed. Other people don't want to use those 3 designs. They want to do their own thing. They're spending hours doing it. That's great, but that doesn't help the people who still need the quick and easy. So I think with things like this in the catalog and limiting it to a certain section of the catalog, I believe it allows people to feel like it is okay to create with quick and easy, or it's okay that I don't buy all the stuff. I can still make great things. Did anybody?
So I have a question then.
Uh-huh.
And I probably just forgot about it. What size are the memories and more the card things now? Yeah. Because
Well-
then they used to be 4x6 and was it 3x4?
So the actual cards are 4x6 and 3x4.
Okay.
So then figure if they haven't changed, they should just be like a 1/4 inch bigger. So I'm thinking then they would be like 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 and 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let me look though.
So the card base so there's two now card base, I guess, in that
Yes,
pack. Okay. Sorry,
right.
I did not know that. I didn't pay attention to that if that
Yes.
was new in the catalog. I just
So
saw memories
there
and more.
are, well, they've had them before.
Have,
It's
okay.
just, I think they got overlooked when they were doing the pre-printed ones that
Okay.
correlated with the card packs.
Because I
Um,
say I've bought them in the past, but I
Yeah.
haven't bought them recently.
Yeah. So you're gonna get, it's basically 10 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 card
Okay.
bases with the envelopes, and then 10 of the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 with the
Gotcha. Okay.
envelopes. And yeah, and it's, it can hold a gift card, and I can find plenty of reasons to use those.
You know,
But I
it's
think
interesting. It doesn't say in the catalog. It just says basic white assorted memories and more cards and envelopes. It doesn't give sizes
Okay.
And I think that's one of those where they're like refer to online.
online.
Not
Yeah.
everybody is referring to online or is not. They just aren't online. And that's where we, the demonstrators, play a big role, is helping them find that information or finding it for them. But yeah, so I'm glad I opened that up and checked, because
Mhm.
I was assuming. So so if you want to jot that in your catalog, you can. And then did anybody buy the pre-printed card bases? I just got them, and you can see they're still in the
Mm-mm.
package. Well, I didn't.
I'm
just
waiting to
get
see what you do with yours. And I
Oh, okay.
believe Beth got them too, or was thinking about it.
I
So-
was thinking
maybe
about it.
it's what everyone else was doing with them before I bought
Mhm.
them.
And I think this is just another good example to show people you just get to mix and match whatever comes to your mind, whatever fills your heart at the moment, whatever you think goes with that yellow flower, whether you put more flowers with it or keep it by itself and put just a sentiment on. But I think it's sort of like with kids, if you would just give them a bunch of art supplies, craft supplies, and just let them go, they figure it out. None
Yeah.
of them will be like, I don't know what to make. No, somebody likes the fuzzy balls, and somebody likes the the sparklies, and and now I need paper. Oh, I need that color paper, and I need more sparkles, and really, to me, that's what the mix and match is like. It's our playtime for adults. And again, a good place for beginners, good for people who have limited income, limited space, limited products, limited money, but still allows them a little bit of freedom. They're not going to have full on freedom, because the colors of the flowers are what they are, as opposed to stamping and coloring your own. But it has much more creative freedom than a kit that is step by step. So yes, I will work on creating with those.
A lot of people in the accountability group are saying that they're beautiful. The ephemera packs are really pretty, and they're using them for scrapbook pages
Oh, awesome.
as ephemera clusters or whatever.
Mhm.
So
And
I think that'll be a quick and easy scrapbooking. There you go.
And scrapbooking, that's exactly what you and I talked about when you said you want to go to the next step. You don't want to be your own best customer. And you said you wanted to use the scrapbooking
Mhm.
as your platform to do that. So that's awesome that you picked that up. Yeah, you can use them on anything.
Mhm.
Collages, gift tags, gift bags, whatever. You still look like you're crying, Holly. So
No, not at all. I am like,
the next time you'll be crying and I'll be like, is it the cat or is it your crying? If you hadn't told me, I'd be like really worried by now.
yeah.
Um,
I ended up getting the Unbounded, what is it? Unbounded Love or whatever that one's called, the memories pack, not the cards with it, but just the pack. And they were really pretty. And my idea was with that is that for my color club, which is one person,
that's all right. It's a
that's okay.
club.
I'm excited. So it's
It's
like
a club.
so I ended up taking each one of the in colors and making a super simple card based on the basic card stock of the color, as well
Mhm.
as something from that the Memories and More pack of it.
Mhm.
And it did make it very easy. And some of the little ones, just doing two of the little pre-cut things like offset
Mhm.
like that, and just a little stamp thing in front of it. And it's just like,
Mhm.
it was perfect. Super simple cards. But yet, now there's one card to go for each color kit. And I've like, okay, so I've made all of her stuff up already, but that's
Uh-huh.
okay. I'm having
Well, that's
fun.
all right. That's all
Yeah.
right. You're ahead of the game. So
Yeah.
um yeah, I think that's a great idea. Plus um it kind of gets that person thinking, and maybe that person's going to ask, well, where did this come from? How did you
Mm-hmm.
do this? Did you stamp this? Oh, it came like that? I mean, it's a conversation starter when you think about it.
Yeah.
And there are lots of good examples in the catalog as well of that mixing and matching of the um, pre-printed cards with the ephemera packs. So I like that. That's weird. When you said the Unbounded Beauty Memories and More, I thought I had both of them, but I actually have two of these. So maybe they were in a different order. Maybe I didn't order them. I don't know. But what I wanted to try was this. First of all, when I first saw it, I just was like, I love the colors, love the colors.
Mhm.
But then I was kind of curious, and I want to know what I'm selling a lot of times. So sometimes I'm buying things that I don't know I would necessarily use on my own at this point of crafting, just like the ephemera packs and stuff. I don't know that I would really use them on my own, but when I have them and play with them, of course I'm going to use them. So, but does anybody have that Frames and Flowers packet? It's basically 3 sheets of DSP. So it's 3 sheets of DSP. They're all different. That's like the peach color. That's not
That's cute.
real well. And then you get 3 by 12 sheets of die cuts. And there's so many different things. There are things that fit a card front. I still have like bunches. I made a bunch of cards and I still have bunches. There are things like this that give you space to stamp an image or sentiment in. There's all kinds, there's like wreath cutouts and florals and leaves and on and on and on. So it almost was a little bit overwhelming at first, because I'm one that I got to punch everything out and have it out and around. And then I was like, okay, where do I start? So what I did was I flipped over the package, looked at the colors, and focused on those colors. And I cut up some card bases and I just started playing. And I took what I think is the easiest of the die cut sheets. There's one that has basically 6 rectangles, what you would use for card fronts, and then a strip down the center. But they're all kind of, well, no, they aren't all frames. But anyways, I'll just show you. This lighting is not real good tonight. What if I go lower? Seems fuzzy or something. If I go closer. So it was just the frame. And then the inside was this whitish color. So I just stamped on the negative space and punched it with the circle punch, stuck it on there, layered it, easy peasy.
What color
Um,
is the card base?
Early espresso.
Okay.
This just really isn't showing up well. If I go back further, maybe. Yeah. So
Oh, there you can see.
espresso and petal pink. I use this Lost Lagoon ribbon that we've had it carried over. Here's another one on a Lost Lagoon base. So the negative space that you punched out here, again, I did the same thing, just stamped on that and punched it with the circle. There's another one. And I just went, I didn't alter the size of those pieces at all. I just worked with what they gave me. So they're all the same size. This one, I just added, I actually stamped on the cardstock, the layer, and I just added some of these little die cuts. And then this one, which I thought was a really ugly print, but of course I had to do something with it. Do you ever get that? You're like, kind of pains.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah, it kind of like pains me. I'm like, oh, I just don't like that print at all. And then it's kind of like hearts on strings, but it's not because it's greens and
But
I
it
don't
looks
know.
really cute.
But
You
I'm
made it
It
look
is
really
cute.
cute.
happy with my end result.
Mhm.
So that was one sheet of the die cut pieces, 6 cards. And well, I'll show you in a minute. There is a strip that I used for something else on that same sheet. And then the other cards I'm going to show you are just using other pieces, other dies, the die cuts that are in that. So this one had 2 corner things and it had a bunch of little leafy things. So again, it's mostly layering that is making the card stand out. You saw these earlier. I didn't put a sentiment on yet, but my plan is to put a sentiment down there. And I was just looking for an easy way to use those wreaths. There's
Cute.
one wreath that is like almost too big for a standard card. I mean, it goes just beyond. Here, let me do it this
Oh,
way.
yeah.
See, it goes really just beyond. So I was like, well, what can I do with that? Oh, it could be a decoration on a gift bag or in a scrapbook page, something like that. This one is kind of weird to me. Like it has that little cutout part, like, so I don't know what I'm doing with that yet, but I'll come up with something. My
Mhm.
goal is to eventually use all the pieces in here. Then I decided I need some sympathy cards. My favorite aunt died. I know I shouldn't
Aw.
have favorites, but she really is my favorite ever. But yeah, she died. And so I want to send out some sympathy cards to her kids. So I was like, okay, I need 6. Don't want to wait too long to do this. Just sit down and make it. And I was like, you know what? I have to make something for my Facebook Live. So I decided I'm going to make this 4-panel card. And this way I get to show people and talk about the frames and flowers specialty DSP pack that I just showed you. They get to learn a new fun fold. It's an easy wow card, easy to make wow card. And then, so then I made 3 more. And again, this is just one single piece with space to stamp in. Same with this one. That banner is part of the die cut. And then this last one, I just did a punch. And there's a bunch of these little die cut flowers. So I actually use those as embellishments. But I have had a lot of fun working with this. Like I said, I have like a pile of die cuts still that I can make many more things. But I made 2 what I consider very simple scrapbook pages, but they're also something that I think could be framed and make a nice gift.
Oh, yeah, that is
So
nice.
here's that
Those are
script
nice.
that
Mm-hmm.
I said was with the 6 card fronts, and it was right down the middle of it, and that's all I did. Quick, simple, easy. And then here's the other one. And again, these are just 2 die cuts on
Wow.
some layered cardstock. It's that simple. So I think there's a lot of potential in here if we just give our people some guidance. And by the end of the Facebook Live, when I made the 4-panel card, people were saying, oh, I wish I had put that on my order. Oh, I'll have to put it on the next order. Oh, I can't wait to see what else you do with it. So it was a neat thing to see because it's very different from most of our products and most of what we had too. So
And it's a really pretty good price point. I mean, it's only $10
it's
for all that.
$10.
Yeah.
You know, and my first thought was like, oh, wait a second, there's really only 3 pieces of DSP in there. And you know how I like my DSP. And I was like, am I going to be able to do much with that? Yeah, I am. I really am. And I can't wait to do more. This is what I have left. And I opened up another pack just to show my people in the Facebook Live. I don't know if you can really tell, but I have a gazillion pieces still left, which, oops, sorry. Oh no, I can't pick them all up. But I mean, I've got all this. There's so much
Nice.
left.
Wow.
And I'm excited. I kind of think I might go forward with some more scrapbook pages or kind of the framed art. Like Savannah just turned 1. I saw you had the
Mhm.
party for her.
Yeah.
Decorations, everything, amazing. Like,
My daughter went,
oh my gosh. I was
yeah.
like, whoa.
There were
But
so many
very
people. It was
fun.
crazy. I'm like, she's only 1, but
But
it was a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
Great
was a big deal.
pictures. She looks so
Yeah.
cute.
Thank you.
Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
See, that happens when I talk grandbabies.
I know. You were talking about moving forward and all those extra pieces and what you're going to do. And
Oh yeah, just like getting, and here's my family, I swear to God, like every single Tuesday night, they're on here like, so I'm glad you don't hear the ding, 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 but it's very distracting to me and I can't turn off the sound on my computer or I won't hear you, but they're connected. So I keep hearing the ding, ding, ding. But just, you know, even decorating gift bags or wrapped gifts. I mean, you could make a simple tag and throw some fun leafy things on there. And again, I think it's just showing people, just playing with it ourselves and then showing people what we can do. And I think a lot of times it's one idea sparks another idea, sparks something for the other person. I get inspired by something somebody else is doing. So I'm excited and I'm going to keep creating with the rest of that stuff. And if you have any more ideas for me, shoot, let me know because I'll make it.
Did
Um,
it say on the packaging the colors that are used?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Because it doesn't say in the catalog, so I'm assuming it says online.
Yes, it
But-
says online, and again, that's go back to online. And there are some people in the leaders group that have made some what do I want to call them? Like just have some lists where, okay, these are the colors of the embellishments and, you know, and it's been like different groups of people. And so I'll have to go look for those in the leaders group and pull those and see. And if people are posting them in the leaders group, Patty Bennett posted some, Bill Harder had one, but when they post it there, it's basically you're welcome to share with your teams. So later this week I can do that and post, and you can then print it and stick it with your catalogs. That's one thing that's hard for me, is that you know, I'm used to everything being right there. And same thing with the embellishments, to know the colors. And it's not always important because a lot of times it might say berry burst, but it can go with a lot of different things. Maybe at times it looks more blackberry and you can't tell. But you know, I guess limited space. But if they went back to posting all those colors right in the catalog with the products, I would be very happy. But yes, early espresso, garden green, granny apple green, Lost Lagoon, old olive, petal pink, pretty peacock, pumpkin pie, shaded spruce, soft seafoam.
That's a
So
lot of colors.
it's a lot of the greens, early espresso for a neutral or a brown, and then some of that shades of petal pink and pumpkin pie. So it's pretty awesome.
Patty posted, I don't know if you guys have seen these where it's all the DSP
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
and all the punches together and all the dies
And she
together.
probably has those up on her website, her blog.
Yeah.
which-
So I kept her
Patty
name and
Stamps.
information up here because I wanted, you know, I didn't want to take, it's not, I didn't come up and spend the time to do that, but
Yeah.
I've got them stuck in the back of my catalog and
Yeah. And I think that's the purpose of those demonstrators putting those together and sharing. They wanted the resource for themselves and decided to share it. So, and like I said, Patty probably has hers up on her blog. I think it's Patty Stamps.
I think that's
Or is it
right.
first
Um,
name? Patty Stamps.
yeah, Patty Stamps.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll try to pull those too from the leaders group. I'll find as many as I can and post them for you guys, because I think it's just a helpful resource for us to be able to tuck into our catalog, and I haven't done that yet either. Okay. So does this give you some ideas of how to use these products? Because it is kind of, and I even think, you know, we've had Memories and More cards, but I do think with all the new, with all the online stuff, with adding to the kids collection, I do think those Memories and More cards kind of took a back seat. You know, they were out in the forefront. But then when they were new to us, but I think they've kind of gotten lost. So I like that they're in this section with Quick and Easy, because everything that's in that section makes sense for Quick and Easy. It's kind of a no-brainer. Well, I'll say no-brainer for us. It's not necessarily a no-brainer for everybody else. And I'm curious to see if that Terry that I mentioned to you, how she will receive these kinds of products, because I know she has like everything and more. I know she does. She hasn't kept up with the colors the last few years, but I can't even imagine how much inventory of stuff she has. But her saying, I haven't done it in years, I can't do it anymore, but I need something to make me happy again. So I'm curious to see what her take on these things will be. All right. Any other thoughts?
Holly, it was nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too, Beth. And I'm going to go ahead and sign up for that, for I guess it's Smoky Slate is the accountability group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one is Berry Burst.
Okay. Yeah, and they've been offering them pretty continuously, maybe a break in between sessions or something, but they've had a number of them. So I think you will find it to be very helpful.
And it's nice to know too that, I know everybody's has varying levels of amount of time. So it's not exactly, oh, did you get all the things done? It's just like, no, okay. So I have, maybe 5 hours a week to dedicate to the things besides actually making cards. And, and then it's kind of like, well, within that, helping me focus in on one thing at a time. And then somebody's kind of expecting, oh, so what did you actually accomplish? So I'll make sure I'll get stuff moving
Yeah.
forward, because I'm as sure as I can be without actually doing it that, yeah, I really do want to move forward with this. So like, come on, let's give me a little kick in the butt to get moving.
And, there's nothing wrong with focusing on just one thing at a time.
Yes.
I think to do less things, but learn to do them better or learn to do them well is probably going to benefit us all more than trying to do everything and doing a half-assed job at it. Like, that's like social media. Like, I don't want to tweet. I don't want to TikTok. I barely touch Instagram, but I know I'm really good at Facebook. My Facebook page, I know I'm good at the YouTube, doing lives. I'm happy blogging, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I know
You don't need
people
more.
are
You don't need
doing
more.
amazing things with reels on Instagram and building up their clientele and everything, but I don't enjoy it. And I'm like, then I'm going to focus my time on things I do like to do. And, I like creating for classes. I don't want to make reels. Maybe someday, but right now I'm not there. So don't ever feel bad when you get presented with a lot of different things. People are going to expose you to as much as they can. They're going to share as many opportunities as they can with you. But then it's up to us to kind of pick and choose what direction we go and what actions we take. And Stampin' Up, I think, is good at realizing wherever you are, if you, if you're new to building a business or if you've been around for a long time, we all have limited time to spend. So I think if I had to guess, I would say they have this very well planned out. What are the things that will be of most benefit to our demonstrators, and how can we help them implement that? And I say that from things like the leadership events. I thought they were amazing 10 years ago. Wow. Like now they just keep getting better and better at their instruction, presenters, and helping us maybe focus in on just a few things, even if they're presenting a lot. So I think it'll be good. I just did a quick overview of the updates, and there is going to be a sale next month. I noticed a few demonstrators already advertised it. But Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines will be on sale. I believe all three, both the regular size and the, but I'll have to read the details, and the mini. And then what else? Bundles, an additional 10% off bundles. So that's a pretty good deal. I was going to order one. I thought, no, I can wait till June 5th. So it's going to be June 5th through June 30th. So just know that that's coming up. And, whether you are wanting to add to your own, or if you're planning classes, or there's a bundle that you think somebody would be very interested in, you can kind of direct them to that and give them a heads up that there is going to be a sale on those things. So I don't know if we've ever done bundle sales before. Do you remember, Tracy?
I don't think we have.
I
It
don't-
doesn't sound familiar
Mm-mm. I don't think so either.
because they're already discounted. So
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how this takes off. So,
Well, I think it's nice too that it's not the same sale every June. They're kind of like, they did a kit sale, they vary what kind of things are popping up so that you don't quite know what to expect and it exposes you to new things.
mhm.
So I think that's a good policy
And
on their
I
part.
think it helps customers be on the watch. If they were only ever discounting like the most expensive items, that's still not going to be appeal to a lot of people. But a free shipping day, oh, anybody can enjoy free shipping,
Mhm.
you know. Or I think they have at times done kits in the past, where they've had some kind of little sale. But I agree. I like that they're offering different things at different times. Kind of keeps all of us on our toes and reminds us to watch and to help our customers watch for that stuff too.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on, I think the first year I joined, there were 2 celebrations and now they're just doing one. Do you like that change? And maybe it is good because it's opening it up to all sorts of other different types of sales.
Mhm.
Or do you think the celebration that I don't know, I'm just curious. I'm not looking for like a negative fest or something like that. I'm
No,
just
no.
curious what your thoughts are. Were you surprised when they got rid of the second celebration of year?
I'm gonna let Tracy and Beth speak first because they've been around for a while and for
I get
many-
yes and no. The only reason I say no, Holly, is when I first started, there was only one celebration.
Mhm.
It was the beginning of the year. It was January through March. And then a couple of years ago, they decided to split it up into 2. I kind of like the one. I just wish it would go back to the January through March instead of just the January and February, because I'm still recouping from the holidays for January,
Mhm.
or that it would be February and March and not January, February.
I
2
agree.
is good. I just needs to shift the other direction
I
by
like
1
the
month.
February and March too, because
Yeah,
everybody's
that's a
going
good
home for
idea.
holidays.
Yeah.
Unless those people have been around and they're thinking towards celebration,
Mhm.
a lot of them are still paying holiday bills.
Yeah. And that's how I
And
feel.
it's
Yeah.
overwhelming too. Like when people are like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna start this on January 1st or whatever. Like, no, I'm too overwhelmed. I wish my
Mhm.
beginning of the year were February 1st, you know? So I like
I
the
just feel
idea
like,
of going
yeah, because
February
it's
to
the new
March.
catalog starts at the same time. And it's like 2 things at once.
Yeah,
Like I need a month to like get the new catalog, even though we have it the month before, but I need a month to show it to my customers, get them excited about things in it for them to want to purchase in February, March, and then get free product with that.
right, right. What are your thoughts, Beth?
Yeah, I agree. It was fun when they had it, the twice in the same year. It was like, oh, okay, we're going to keep the ball rolling, with these celebrations, and your team would build because you'd get kidnappers. But then they drop off, but
Mhm.
and then they stopped doing it. But I do agree with you so much that the timing of it being short, that made me sad. I was like, oh, wait. But I think February, March would be great. We should put that in the sandbox.
Yeah,
Let
I
them
would
know.
definitely put that in.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
Yeah.
I know, this coming year, 2025 will be the same. I don't think there is a second celebration planned at all in the next few years. And as far as I know, it's sticking to January and February. But maybe if we plant the seed and enough people, are saying, hey, could we try February, March? Maybe we could.
Yeah.
And they don't always know what we're thinking. So don't ever be shy. It doesn't matter if you're a day one demonstrator or you've been here 1,000 years, if you're big business, little business, hobbyist, it doesn't matter. They want to hear from us. That doesn't mean we always get our way, but I can see specific examples where they have listened to demonstrators and made some changes to things they used to do. So definitely a sandbox thing. I personally like it once a year. I felt like when they did it the second time in the year, my sales weren't that great in comparison to the first time around. And then I think too that there was just so much going on. The holiday, well, it's not the holiday catalog anymore, but it just was like one more thing. Whereas now I like that celebration is once a year. We have a specific schedule for when new product is being released. So we now know what to expect, which is kind of different too, with the online stuff. And I felt like there was more, it was easier to get excited and promote it as this is Stampin' Up's biggest promotion of the year because it's one time during the year.
Mhm.
When you say it's the biggest promotion of the year, but we offer it twice, well, which is it? Is it the first one? Is it the second one?
We're having a Toyota-thon every
right.
other month.
Exactly. I think it makes it more, I don't know if exclusive is the right word, but just makes it more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Has more impact.
It has more impact when it's once a year. I do have a question for you guys. Any luck with getting anybody to join with this starter kit promotion? I have not gotten a single person. I haven't had anybody show interest. Yet I have 15 people who joined my In Color Club. So they're spending a lot more money. I don't know. I really thought we would see some big numbers coming in, but I don't know. Recruiting has never been my strong point. In fact, I talked to, I should tell you guys this. So June 29th, Saturday, June 29th at my house, probably 10 to 4 is a team event. Still trying to put it all together, but I was talking to Elizabeth Belleville this morning, and right now she has to check one family thing. But right now she said in terms of work, that's a perfect time for her to come out here. So she'll do something fun during that. But I told her I want to contact her again. Just there's a couple things I wanted to talk to her about just for my own business. And the number one thing is recruiting. Why is it still my weak spot? What am I doing wrong? I'm using the phrase that pays. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't introduce you to the starter kit, because it's such a good deal. But I don't really know. I don't know if it's the age of the people I attract, so they don't want to get into that. They just are happy being customers or viewers. I don't know. So I feel like once I get you here, you're pretty good at staying. I'm pretty good at keeping you. But
We love you.
so, but I don't know. It's just it's always been my weak spot, and I wish I could. And I've gotten better. I've definitely gotten better. But this I think is an example of we've got this great promotion, and why is it not working for me? but I can just keep trying. So,
I think what you said is pretty right, though, that, you know, you got 15 people sign up for your color club, which says that the colors, people are really liking them, and that they know there's, well, of course, there's 5 months of commitment, but they know that they can parcel out the payments to you, which saves their pocketbook in the short run each
Mhm.
month. And I think that, yeah, those two things, you know, one is going to eat up the customers of the other, you know, because if you
Right.
have a bunch of people doing one. So I think your people, they know you, they love you, they want to just stick with that. And they also know there's that much pressure to continue to go and make sales, because everybody always worries. Even if you say there's no pressure, you never have to make any sales, you don't have to buy anything else, blah, blah, blah. Everybody always feels that, that's too good a
It's
deal. It
too
couldn't
good
be
to be
true.
true.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Tracy, you've encountered this too with some of your customers, the whole tax thing. They panic
Oh,
over
yeah.
the tax thing. And I'm like, trust me, Claudia, you aren't, you can keep buying the way you're buying and you're still not going to get a 1099. But they don't, and she's like, well, I talked to my tax person and when I brought it up, he said, let's talk about that when we get there. Now, I interpret that as him saying, you're probably not going to reach that. That's not anything you need to worry about at the rate you're going. And she took that as, oh, it's going to happen. And so I'm going to avoid that totally. And she spent so much money. I'm just like, oh, but she tried it for a while and she got nervous and decided, you know, she decided that stress, that nervousness, was outweighed her savings. So she went for the stress-free option and is paying more. You know,
I was
some
gonna say,
people-
you can try, I haven't tried this, is explain to them that Stamping Up is like a Dillard's, a Lazarus. You're working for them, you're buying product and they're just giving you the discount.
Mhm.
You're getting the family and friend discount for
Oh,
working
that's
for
a
the
good point.
company.
It's like having the
Yeah, it's
demonstrator
that's all it
discount is like
is.
family and friends
Yeah.
discount. Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because basically that's what it is, but I don't think people see it that way. They see it as, you know, oh, I'm getting a discount. Or they may not even think that because if they've never worked for a retailer,
Right.
which I
Right.
never had, but I've, you know, definitely have used relatives, you know, hey, I like have these clothes on hold. Can you
Right.
buy them? I'll pay you back so I can get your, you know, store
Right.
discount
Employee discount
and
or
stuff.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Um,
things. So it's very, I mean, it's very similar to that. Cause I was kind of concerned at one point, cause I was like, am I getting money from Stamping Up for my discount? And I realized that I wasn't. Getting that, like when I bought product as a demonstrator,
because they
because
took it off the top.
yeah, because sometimes
Mhm.
the way they worded it, I was like, well, wait, is it coming back
Right.
to me? And I had to like double and triple check a couple of times because I was like, am I
Yeah.
getting that?
Well, and I'm like, you know, have anybody ever read the like demonstrator contract or whatever? No, I haven't. But you have,
I have.
Holly, right? Like I'm sure I skimmed it, but I wasn't. I joined so Susie would quit asking me. You know, honestly, I wasn't gonna stick around. I didn't need to read that.
That's
But for
funny.
somebody that is reading it, it's gonna be overwhelming because it's a lot of legal jargon. Um, and it's pages and pages and pages long. I know they have to do it that way. There's no way around it for them, but that can throw people off.
Mhm.
People giving their social security number. I've had that. They are so worried that they will be hacked, you
Mhm.
know, and yet there are so many other ways they would probably be hacked first, you know.
Yet they're okay with
Or
giving you their credit card number though to order online
exactly.
from Stamping Up.
I
I
have people
mean,
that text me their credit card numbers. I'm like, please don't do that.
Right.
And it's their way. Um, But yeah, I've had that, or they don't understand why they have to give their bank account information if they're just hobbyists. They're not expecting to make money, so they're not expecting a direct deposit, but there are all these legalities of why it has to happen. And I have had people call in, and I don't think they can't get around the social security number thing. I have had somebody get around the bank deposit information. How or why, I don't understand, but it did happen. But yeah, I understand people's concerns, but in this day and age, my gosh, there are so many ways we can be
Right.
hacked. And I think, nothing is 100% secure, but my guess is we're probably more secure with Stampin' Up! With than some of the other things we do, especially if we're on Facebook. Gosh, there was something else I was going to ask you guys.
So if somebody it stops being a demonstrator, is it 3 months before they can be a kidnapper again?
Let me think about this. There's no, if I
No.
remember correctly, there's no time limit if they sign up with the same person. If they want to
Okay.
sign up with a different person, I believe it's 90 days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Did not know
And
that.
and there are some people on this team who have done that, who have left, waited the 90 days and then signed up with me or somebody else on the team. So it does happen. The thing to be aware of, though, is that those people, when they switch, they basically are resigning, completely resigning. So when they sign up again, they're starting over. So if somebody had $85,000 in career sales, they're going to lose all that and
Mm.
start at zero career sales. And you think, well, if you're at, say if they do 10, 15,000 in a year, they would be due for a bonus at 100,000 career sales. And now they've given that up and started over. Or if they are at a silver or silver elite, you dropped, you start at bronze, you start right back at the beginning again. So that's a big deal. And I have had people, there's somebody on the team who, I explained all that. I said, you really need to give this some deep thought because you're giving up a lot. And she decided she wasn't willing to give that up. And then 6 months later, we had the same discussion. She said, no, I'm ready. I'm ready this time. I don't know what changed, but,
Mm.
and with me, she's a hobbyist. She was before too. But I don't know what kept her on. I didn't have any access to her records, nor did I ask her.
Yeah.
Because it has to be her personal decision. So, but yeah, if they sign up, if they drop or go inactive and they were with you and they want to sign back up with you, they can do that at any time. They don't have to wait.
Okay. Okay.
Do
Cindy
they
was
automatic-
wondering. Sorry, you're okay.
Do they automatically become inactive when they hit their 6-month mark and they don't have enough sales?
Well, it's still based on the quarters. So, when somebody's brand new and they sign up, your minimums don't start until the first full quarter. So if somebody signs up, say, January 1st, that's the first day of a new quarter. We've already started the quarter. So, like January, February, March would be extra months for them. Their first full quarter would be April, May, June. So they do have almost 6 months. Whereas if somebody signs up on March 30th, their first full month is also April, May, June, and they have the same amount of time, or have less time, but to get the same minimum of $300. If they don't make that, the next month is considered a pending month, sort of like a grace period. Um, I wish they would do away with it, to be quite honest. The only thing sometimes somebody is in a bind, and I have seen that where they're like, oh, I just can't, but I can make it up next month. Sometimes people will intentionally wait, and they're not doing anything wrong, but they'll intentionally wait if they know there's a sale or something coming up, and they can make up the difference and get that added benefit of a sale. But if they don't make their minimum in the pending month, then yes, they do just go inactive. They wipe the slate clean. You're no longer there. Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier when we were talking about people joining and commitments and taxes and wording and all that. And you can say there's no obligation, but just the word demonstrator implies that they're expected to do something. It's the perception that they are expected to show people how to use the products, to how to make cards. And I don't know what is a better term. I understand why we are demonstrators, just like close to my heart, they're makers. But demonstrator, that word alone, I think is very off-putting for some people. I also think, I try to say, join my Mary Stampers community, because team also implies something different than a community. But yet they are part of a team,
Mhm.
and the whole upline, downline thing, and again, I don't know. I know different ways people can perceive or define these words, but I don't know a better solution. Even starter kit. Starter kit implies that you're going to get this and then you're going to do more. You're starting. You're going to do more. And that throws them off. And again, what is the perfect terminology? And maybe that's something I need to work on, the wording of how I present the things. But anyways, that's that. Okay. Any ideas for what you want to do next month?
I'm the newbie. I don't know.
We'll do anything and everything you like, Beth.
I'll come up
that
with at least one idea for next month. Not yet, but soon.
Yeah. If you want to see more examples of using the ephemera packs or memories and more, and it doesn't have to be me, any of you can bring those ideas.
I did order, I ordered 3 out of the 4. They're not here yet, of the ephemera packs
Uh-huh.
because the people in my accountability group were saying, how beautiful they are. And they liked them even better than the paper pumpkin ones. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm game.
Okay. Yeah.
They're $8,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
Super affordable.
right.
And I'd like to see what you do. I mean, I know you're real interested in getting some scrapbooking going.
Yeah.
So whether it be scrapbook pages or something else, I would be very much interested in what you do with those.
Well, I'm going to Tennessee on June 3rd
Okay.
for a 4-day crop with another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but Cindy's also going to be there.
Oh, okay.
So I will take those with me. As long as I get them, I'll take those with me and I'll be playing. So
Yeah.
I'll show you
Good.
guys.
Good.
Get back.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm always here for you. Just let me know what I can do for you. One on my house, June 29th. Hope you can make it. It'll be lots of fun. And more details to come. But Elizabeth said she would be back with me. I just want to know for sure that she's coming before I plan everything. It sounds like she is, but she just needed to clear one family thing. But we'll go from there. And
So are you opening this up then to demonstrators outside of you?
no.
Okay,
No.
because I know when Elizabeth was coming the first
Right.
time around,
right.
It was gonna be this,
But- and I
probably
asked her
40 to 50
specifically
people.
because that would change my planning. And, so no, it's gonna be just our team. And she said that was her preference right now. She'll probably come, a few days early, be in Ohio a few days, maybe meet with some other leaders in other parts of the state, maybe meet some with the, Close to My Heart makers who have joined. So she will try to fit in other things while she's here in Ohio. But you
She's
know,
our DM, right?
yeah, she's our DDM.
Okay, DDM, yeah.
And she and it's Elizabeth with an S. I always
Okay.
like look, I'm like, why can't I find her? I've got the information. And yeah, she's also somebody that any of us can contact at any time for help in our business or talk things through or whatever. Very nice, very personable. But I did ask specifically, right up front, I invited you to a team event, but if you're coming out here, do I need to switch that to, the other, like we had talked about last year? And she said, no, she said, definitely keep it a team event this time. And, she would be trying to fit in some other, meetups with demonstrators in the state. So just our team.
Will you be doing any of it live? I know I can't attend.
Or
recording anything?
Stream.
Okay.
Well, wait a second. I have to think about this a second. Because we're a group. Yeah, we should be able to Facebook Live. It would be through Facebook Live, not Zoom.
All right. But that means that eventually would be recorded and posted back up on Facebook.
Yes, I can't say all of it will be.
Okay.
Okay.
Just curious. Yeah, I have family
Right.
things, so I know I won't be able
Yeah,
to come
so we
up.
talked about that too, and she's fine with that as well. And I said that's what we used to do at the team meetings when I still lived in Cincinnati. And I think it's good too because, back then our team was in the Cincinnati area for the most part, Northern Kentucky, Eastern Indiana, but now we're all over the place. So it's nice to be able to stream some of that so that other people can participate too. I can't do a Zoom because of the new restrictions with Facebook into groups, but we can Facebook Live some of that. So hoping to get a helper here. For some reason, I think Andrea and John are gone that weekend. I'm thinking they're going to Cincinnati to stay at Emily's, but I was like, I might have to pull in a helper here or there. Cause I'm not real good doing that and, hosting.
Well, you have your back to think about too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So should be fun though. And I think she'll probably have some, things to show us. She talked about bringing, some future kits if she can. Sometimes there's, they have guidelines they have to follow, I should say. So, but yeah, so should be a good time.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Mary, if I am going to be able to be there for that date, which I should know in a week or two, I could definitely be somebody who helps you out doing
Okay.
things. I can be a helper girl.
Okay, good. I'm excited. So,
Yeah.
and hopefully we'll get a good turnout. I
Don't
have
make
a
chicken
crazy time.
salad.
No, we're having
Why? Her chicken salad's amazing.
I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
Wah wah.
Yeah, loser.
I know.
Have a birthday celebration. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
I
let's-
know. I
we
have
the
something that
birthday the
evening.
week before.
Yeah. I would have to leave around 2. I could come the night before and help you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I'd have to leave about 2. I'd have to bail on you halfway through. So,
So
We'll
it'll be
talk.
fun.
We'll figure it all out.
yeah.
Okay, I will talk to you guys soon and have a good night.
All
Okay.
Do you
right.
have a second to
everybody.
stay on, Mary,
Oh.
and stop the recording?
Yeah, hold on. Bye, ladies. Let me.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah.